everyone, I'm Gayatri and welcome to Panda Gaia. You might be wondering what is all this setup because it's not me. If I sit down, it's usually in front of a curtain. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I love to talk. It does not have to be a specific topic. It does not have to be about something. I just love talking. For some reason, I feel like talking is in my blood because my mother is very talkative. She's sitting right there and she's laughing at me, but she is very talkative, so I get that from her. I've coming to the topic on talking. I've seen a lot of people do podcasts, and when I listen to podcasts, I'm a person who listens to podcasts, so that's one thing. When I listen to that, I have my own thoughts and my opinions about certain things, and I feel like I have to share that. Like, I just have to tell someone that. So usually I call my best friend and I just talk it out with her. But sometimes these topics are too intense or just too important to just make it a conversation between us. And recently I saw this movie named Chemical Hearts, starring Austin Abrams and Lily Reinhardt. If you haven't seen it, it's a really nice movie. You have to go see it. The movie basically deals about teenagers. And when you think about a teenager, you think about, you have this idea in your mind on what a teenager is. I'm 17 years old. I'm a teenager. And I know certain things about being a teenager. And Chemical Hearts, being a teenager, my love for talking and podcast led me to one thing: creating my own podcast. Before we do that, I just want to say a big thank you to Ink Art Tattoo Studios for providing us with this environment and the setup where I can take a video. So thank you so much to Ink Art. Thank you for all the support you guys have been giving me. It's so much for me to handle. Now, coming back, I have decided to start my own podcast, and you might be wondering what this podcast is about. It's basically about teenagers. And when you think of a podcast, you might think, it's a big thing, like you get a lot of views and you get a lot of reach. But to me, this podcast is basically a love letter to myself and to so many teens out there who feel like you're not valid, where you're suppressed and you have, it's depressing being a teen. Let me be honest with you. It's sad and just not so much fun, It's just hard being a teenager. We have a lot of limitations, like, don't do that, do this, do that. You're not allowed to do that. Oh my God, study well. What is wrong with you? It's just so much pressure. And you might be wondering, what's so hard about being a teenager? You don't understand it. There are so many hormones passing through my body, and my brain is undergoing so many neurochemical changes. I don't even want to start right now. You just don't get it. So this podcast is for all the other teenagers out there who feel just how I feel, who feel suppressed. I feel suppressed, but sometimes, you just have to rise out of that and go follow your dreams like a phoenix. Talking about that, let me give you the name of my podcast. Welcome to Teenage Limbo. You might be wondering what teenage limbo is. Honestly, I don't know what teenage limbo is. Coming back to Chemical Hearts, I saw Chemical Hearts and they talked about teenage limbo. And there is this one quote specifically that I want to read out to you, which goes, when you're a teenager, the chemicals in your brain drive you to make decisions that rip you away from the safety of your childhood and drag you into the wilderness of adulthood. A friend once told me that adults are just scarred kids who are lucky enough to make it out of this teenage limbo. I urge you to go outside and look at the world through that prism. Look at your parents, your older siblings, look at the strangers you pass on the street. Look at them and imagine at one point they too walked these halls. They too felt the unbearable loneliness and the unbearable absolute powerlessness and darkness of being young. I feel the darkness of being young. I feel the unbearable pain of being lonely. There are reasons why we behave like this, why we act out like this, why we are like this. I'm no neurosurgeon or I'm no expert or whatever, but I will try to explain to you why we are like this, why it's all like this. I don't know how to put into better words or to tell you what it's like being a teenager. I don't know, I'm just really excited that I get an opportunity to do something like this. Teenage limbo, we basically explore parts of, like I said, why a teenager behaves like this, and just aspects of being a teen. Like, at the top of my mind I have stuff like existing as a teen, what it's like being a teen, teenagers and dating, all that kind of topics. So if you want to join along, please do take a moment, sit down, listen, absorb all this into your mind, and just be yourself, I guess. I don't know why I said be yourself, but you have to be yourself. That's another thing. It's just nice existing as yourself and accepting yourself, loving yourself. Self-love, it's very important. But if you feel like I have something to give you through this, please do join us, support us, and just be with us. By us, I mean it's just myself and so many people, my spirits were just visible here. And I will also be having some people around to talk about certain topics which I feel are interesting and which, basically deals with teenage. So yeah, once again, welcome to Teenage Limbo, where we deal about episodes. I've only seen people do this. I'm just really excited to do this. So yeah, thank you so much. We'll be coming with the first episode very, very soon. I'm just really excited to be here. Thank you so much. I love you all. Stay safe, stay happy, stay blessed.